Hello everyone. These days we are learning the linked list, and we have already studied about the different types of linked list and also different types of operations which we can perform on the linked list, like insertion, deletion, searching, right? All these operations we have studied. As we know, in the very first lecture of the linked list, we talked about the dynamic memory allocation. We know that the linked list is a dynamic memory allocation, and we also know the meaning of the dynamic memory allocation is that you can allocate the memory at runtime, right? Means when you start the program, you don't know that how much memory will be required for this program, right? At runtime, you allocate the memory based on the requirement. So that is the concept of the dynamic memory allocation. And when we talk about the linked list, dynamic memory allocation is always there. So first, let's talk about the difference between the static memory allocation and the dynamic memory allocation. So the very first thing, just a minute. Yeah, so the very first point is the static memory. This is the static memory allocation, and this is the dynamic memory allocation. The very first point says, in the static, memory is allocated at compile time. Compile time means what happens when you write the program and you say that integer no, right? So at the time of the compilation, after writing the program, when you will compile the program, when this line will get executed, at that time compiler will allocate the memory for this variable, and it is going to be static, right? Till the program is running, it is going to be static. So static memory allocation, normally this allocation happens at the compile time, while in the dynamic memory, memory is allocated at runtime. So compilation is done, and when you run the code, at that time you can allocate the memory. So this is the main difference between the static and the dynamic. Second point says, memory can be increased while executing program. Can be increased means if I say that I have allocated, let's say 10 bytes I have allocated, right? So once I have allocated the 10 byte memory, I cannot increase it, I cannot manipulate this memory, right? While if it's a dynamic memory, definitely we can manipulate, we can increase it. Like if I have the static 10B, right, I cannot expand it or I cannot reduce it. But let's say if I have in a dynamic I have 10, then also I can go to the 9, and also I can increase to 11. So this is the another benefit, that we can manipulate the memory size. And the last point is used in the array. So when we say that static memory allocation, the array is an example, and for the dynamic memory we have the linked list, right? So this is the difference between the static memory allocation and the dynamic memory allocation. Now we will see dynamic memory allocation in more detail. Okay, so here we have 5 points for the dynamic memory allocation. The very first point says, when you declare a variable using a basic data types, the C compiler automatically allocates memory space for the variable. Just like I said that if I say integer no, right? So when you write this statement and when you compile this code, it will occupy the 4 bytes or 2 bytes, depends on the compiler and the operating system. So it will occupy the 2 bytes, right? So when you declare a variable, this is the variable declaration. When you declare a variable using a basic data type, this is a basic data type, integer, character, float, long, or the basic data type, the C compiler automatically allocates memory space for the variable. So in the memory, it will allocate the space for the n, right? This is the normal case. This is the normal case. Now, a process of allocating memory in C, which will permit you to implement a program in which the array size is undecided. I can write integer a of 5, means I know the size of the integer array would be 5, but if I write integer a and blank, I don't know the size, it can be n, I don't know the size of n, means this is undecided until you run your program, means this is the runtime, means this value of n, the value of n we are going to take from the user. So we don't know that how many space we require for this range, right? So this is undecided, and we will only come to know at the runtime. So this type of thing we call the dynamic memory allocation. The dynamic memory allocation means the space you reserve for your variables at runtime only, means ultimately the size is not decided, right? So this is about the definition of the dynamic memory allocation. The most important point you need to remember is dynamic memory allocation allocates the memory at runtime. This is the important word, runtime. The next point says dynamic memory allocation is manual allocation. So manual allocation and freeing of memory according to your programming needs. What does it mean? Allocation is manual allocation and free. Manual allocation and free. So it is like that first I thought that okay, I require 5 spaces, right? Suppose I require 5 bytes. But after some times during the runtime, I realized that no, I need 8 bytes. Okay. So I can allocate, I can resize this 5 to 8. After some time I realized no, I need only 6. So yes, you can go to 6 as well. Means if I have a 5, I can increase to 8 and also I can decrease it to 6. So this is the manual allocation, because we need to give this value 5, 8, 6, all the values we need to give to the compiler, right? So we can allocate the memory as well as we can free the memory, right, according to your programming needs. And the last point is dynamic memory is managed and served with pointers. So whenever you are dealing with the dynamic memory allocation, you cannot directly allocate or free the memory. You always need the pointer, because ultimately you are working with the addresses, right? When we say that I am dealing with the memory, it means I am dealing with the addresses and pointers that points to that particular newly allocated memory space, right? So this is about the dynamic memory allocation. This is the brief idea about the dynamic memory allocation. More about the functions of DMA that we will discuss in the next part.